So you're into trading crypto, but you've always been interested in trading things like gold, silver, oil, and the S&P 500. Today I'm using PrimeXBT and I'm going to show you how to put funds in and open up your first trades. Let's get right into it. So PrimeXBT lets you trade crypto futures and global markets on the same platform. So the first thing you want to do is click the link in the description, sign up for your account. I'm not going to bore you with how to register an account. Let's get right into this. So I've sent USDT to PrimeXBT. You can see the funds have now arrived in my wallet, and I want to now trade the S&P 500 today. So what I'm going to do is transfer some of the funds to the global markets wallet. So you're going to click transfer, select global markets, and put in the amount that you want to trade with. So as you can see, I've now sent $500 from my wallet to the global markets wallet. Right, my next step is to click on the trade box. You can see I've got two options now, global markets or crypto futures. If I want to trade the S&P 500, I'm going to click global markets. I'm going to highlight USDT. This is the home screen for global markets. It's slightly different to a standard crypto type exchange. And on the left hand side here, I've highlighted CFDs, and these are all the CFDs that are available for trading. Now, it's a slightly different process to opening and closing trades. So I'm going to show you how to open a trade on the S&P 500. So let's say I want to go long on the S&P 500. I'm going to highlight the S&P 500 here on the box. Now, if I want to trade the S&P, I've got two options here. Number one is to buy it to go long, or number two is to sell it to go short. So in this situation, I want to go long, so I'm going to click buy. Now it's going to present you with a box. You now have to tell it how much you want to trade, and they do it in units. So for example, in the middle of this box, it says the amount, it says 1. That is one S&P index. So your position will effectively be $5,183 for this example. One of the things you need to understand if you are used to normal crypto exchanges is these things work slightly differently. This account has got a cross margin automatically set where they give you 100x margin in a cross account. You cannot change this. So you really need to exercise caution and manage your risk accordingly, and understand that if you put $500 in your account, for this example, you can effectively trade 100 times that size. Obviously, for this example, we don't want to be doing that. We want to manage our margin and we want to manage our risk accordingly. So let's get right into an example now. So we know that I've got $500 in my account and I want to open a long position on the S&P 500. So number one, I'm going to push buy. And just an example for the size of the leverage, as you can see, if I buy one S&P 500, that's the equivalent of a $5,000 position, and the margin impact here is 52. So you can see that the leverage on this account is automatically set at 100 times. So to manage my risk accordingly, I'm obviously going to open a much smaller position here. So I'm going to open half an S&P index. So you select 0.5. And now you can see the margin that it's going to be using for this position is $26. So now I'm going to place a stop loss. I've highlighted the stop loss box and I'm looking for an area as to where I'll exit in case the trade goes against me. I'm looking at this current candle low as a potential area where I'd like to exit. So I'm going to set my stop loss just under this region at 5127. So I'm going to click stop loss. I'm going to type in the amount 5127. And now my order is ready to send. If you'd like to add a TP, you can also click the TP box and select the target that you'd like to hit. For this example, I'm going to leave this open and watch if the candle starts moving higher. I will manually close it when it hits certain targets. So I've just shown you now how to open a long position on PrimeXBT. Now I'm going to give you an example on how to open a short position. For this example, we're going to short the S&P 500. I'm going to click sell. And just to confirm, we are now going to sell 0.5, which is half an S&P 500. Let's place a stop loss as well. So click the box. Now I'm going to click stop loss. And I'm going to look on the chart available here. And I can see just above these highs would be a reasonable stop area. So I'm going to choose 5195. So I'm going to fill it in the box here, 5195. Now I'm ready to send order, which is effectively to open my short. Click confirm. And there you have it. So I've shown you how to open a long and a short position on PrimeXBT. And just remember, if you don't know how to do these things or you're interested in charting, make sure you watch my daily trading show on 𝗏𝗏 or 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Now I'm going to show you how to trade crypto on their crypto futures platform. So what you're going to do is click trade. You're going to highlight crypto futures. You're going to go through the same process we went through before. We're transferring funds from our wallet to our crypto futures USDT account. And here we are presented with our crypto futures trading platform on PrimeXBT. So you're going to find it slightly different to what you've just seen on global markets. I'm going to take you through this current setup. So I've opened the crypto futures platform, and as you can see, I'm in 3 trades currently that are all green. If you want to get entries like this, I recommend you watch my show. This is what I do daily, and I give you great areas of interest and great entry zones for these types of trades. For this example, I'm going to open a long position on AVAX. And just to identify a trend, and you can see this area looks like an interesting zone to go long, so I'm going to look for a long position now on AVAX. So in the box on the right hand side that I've highlighted here, you can see they're asking you to put in the amount of tokens that you want to trade. This is not a US dollar amount, this is the amount of tokens. So what you need to do is just calculate your token price by the amount of tokens that you're going to be trading. So for this example, I'm going to long 50 AVAX tokens. So the first thing we're going to do is type in the amount we want to long. So for this example, you can see there is 50 in the box. Then we want to select our type of margin. Now this is the cool thing that PrimeXBT have done here for the crypto futures. They have made it very similar to the exchanges that you are probably used to, and they've given you the option to have isolated positions or cross positions. So for this example, let's click isolated, and now we can select our margin that we want to use. So as you can see, if you drag the dial all the way to the bottom, it's 2x. If you move it all the way to the top, they're giving 75x leverage. What I would suggest for this particular trade is 5x. Click set. So now we know we've got an AVAX position set up here, and if we open a long position, it's going to be in an isolated box, and anything that happens within that isolated trade doesn't affect your funds in your wallet. So confirming, I now have isolated 5x. I'm ready to click buy to go long, and I've chosen the token amounts. I've chosen 50 AVAX. Let's click place buy order. Now it gives you a nice little summary of the position, and here you can see in the middle it gives your order value in US dollars. So now you know the size of the actual position, and here you can also see the amount of leverage you're using. For this example, you can see they are using $500, and the position size they're opening is $2,600. Click place buy order, and there you have it. At the bottom of my screen now, you can see this AVAX long position is now open, and they have highlighted very nicely here our entry level. Now my next step is going to be to place a stop loss, and where would I like to put a stop? Most likely under these 2 candles that you can see here under this $50 region. So what I'm going to do now is click the pencil, and now I'm going to enter my stop loss. Let's make it 49.99. So that's effectively going to close my position if the price drops below $50. Click set. So now I've placed my stop loss, and you can see it's set up nicely on the screen. So I've got a clear picture as to what the trade looks like, and we've got a clear area where if this trade fails, it will automatically close my position. So there you have it, guys. That's a brief overview of how I use PrimeXBT to trade. If you're looking for great entries, don't forget to watch me daily live on 𝗏𝗏 or on 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏.